Let's go Bucs. Bucs abroad. Episode 5. Bucs went 2-3 on the road trip, but it wouldn't be justice without starting with this. Tusapita Marcano gets caught illegally gambling on Major League Baseball. The Pirates, while on the injury list, is going to probably serve a lifetime ban from the MLB. Former Bucko, and you know what? He was on some bad Buccos teams, but he was all right. He was actually all right. And for him to do this is absolutely crazy. I saw a few people X today that they had some Marcano jerseys, and that's an insane purchase.
Insane. He was not going to be sticking around here.
No.
The crazy part is I tried to dive into, like, they didn't really have too many, like, what side he was playing, but betting the Bucs back then, not a profitable strategy.
Unless you're betting against them, but even then, like, it's probably not even worth it.
Idiot. Let's move along.
Yeah. So let's move along. And, you know, it just sucks that we have to start with this because Jared Jones, we had the road trip get delayed a little bit with a doubleheader coming, but it was Jones Skeens. The hype was there. It was ready. And Jared Jones got. And it happens. He's going to figure it out. I'm not worried about it. And he got. And I got nothing more to say about that.
Yeah, he got in that game. It's going to happen. You know, it's crazy to think a dude with as dominant as stuff as Jared Jones, and he's been fine all year, and he's going to be fine. I have no doubt about it. Also got to mention, Pirates had 3 hits that game. Weird afternoon game.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Was it Scooble who was pitching?
Yeah, 7-1. He's nice.
Yeah, he's pretty nice.
Has a weird wind up and everything. You know, that's tough. It's like watching Tyler Rogers out in San Fran. He's just so goofy to hit.
Yeah. He's good, though. He puts on a show, and he's been putting on a show. And we lost 8-0. Like I said, 3 hits. Wasn't pretty.
8-0 clinic by Detroit there. But let's move along and talk about the clinic that Paul Skeens put on next.
Go right ahead.
Just another absolute classic by Paul Skeens. Rookie of the year coming up. I smell a Cy Young in his future. Not this year, but I'm thinking next year for him. I mean, the dude is just lights out. It's crazy. I've never seen anything like it. Bucco's bats were pretty good that ball game. And like I said, these doubleheader games, they're just goofy timing-wise. Can't be easy to get up for, and it's just your rhythm's got to be all thrown off. I know pitchers are strange with routines, almost like an NHL goalie. You don't talk to them. They got a certain warm-up. I'm sure it throws off the mojo when you're playing a doubleheader, but Paul Skeens looked all the way locked in, and I can say we're going to continue to see that out of big Paul Skeens.
Man, oh man, and I can't wait for Livy Doon to be in the sidelines as well. That's gonna be pretty sweet as well. But Paul Skeens, again, he shines. He looks awesome. The offense looked great, and like you said, the doubleheaders are weird. I think I saw that they're supposed to start like 40 to 50 minutes after the final pitch of the first game, which, you know, that's a quick turnaround for the bats. And to get shut out like that, I think they let out some frustration. Kicked their ass in that second game. You know, wish we, would have been sweet to have Jared Jones outduel Scooble, but shit happens. And Paul Skeens, he's just the ace. And I keep calling him Keller, and we will not continue to do that because we'll get into Mitch Keller. But Paul Skeens is everything as advertised, and he's awesome. And every day that he pitches is appointment viewing baseball.
Appointment viewing baseball. You hit it right on the head there, big brain. Like I said, we were talking about this Detroit series, and obviously our 2 dogs that everybody really enjoys seeing the pitch. Good thing we got some coming up. Jared Jones versus the former Bucko Tyler Glasnow, going to be electric. And big Paul Skeens. I believe it's Walker Buehler.
Bailey Falter, Walker Buehler. But let's I got something I need to just bring up.
Bring it up.
You're ever just out at the store or anything like that, and somebody's either on their phone, FaceTime, TikTok, YouTube, whatever it may be, and it's just loud and you're just frustrated. But it's a public space, you can't really do anything about it. That's how I felt watching this Blue Jays series. It was
Ah,
the most frustrating series I have ever watched as a Pirate fan. Game one, Bailey Falter, Bailey Falter, Bailey Falter. He
dog,
is awesome.
dog, dog.
He's awesome. He's awesome. And pitches another gem. And we go out there and get no hit after the sixth inning. And the game went to 14 innings.
Yep. I know. I know. And unfortunately, for a lot of these pitchers, we've seen a lot of that this year. I believe that game was the 13th blown save of the year. Even if you, let's say you blew 7 of them, that's a lot of wins. That puts you in first place in the NL Central.
Puts
It's
you one
crazy.
above 500 right now.
It's just, I don't know. I don't know what these guys are going to do to address this bullpen, but it's becoming a major problem.
It's bad, and it's managerial issues as well, dealing with that bullpen, that said bullpen. It's just bad, and it gets worse. But we go on to game 2, and this is Bucco baseball 2024. Mitch Keller, he's a stud. He just doesn't stop going out there pitching 6 innings of shutout baseball and continuing to be cheap for that price that we got him when you look at it. And he's been great. We go out there 8-1, undefeated in that game after we scored 10 hits on the year, and that was the most. We were the only team in baseball undefeated at that point with 10 plus hits, and we won 8-1 with Keller stellar.
Yeah, and Keller's just been great. Slow start to the year, like we've mentioned, but I mean, hard to argue. 7-3. That's got to be right up there with some of the bigger win totals in the league.
Absolutely.
And this game was never in doubt. Bucco's bats were there. The pitching was there. They just lit the Blue Jays up. Like I said, you brought it up when we first discussed game 1. Frustrating series to watch. Bucs should have swept this series. Should have swept.
And game 3, I said we were undefeated with 10 plus hits, right? Well, game 3, we had 10 plus hits and we blew another lead.
Yep.
Quinn Priester, but not that bad.
You can tell the look on Quinn Priester's face when they panned him in the dugout after he gets pulled, that he knows that he's going down. I mean, what's he now? 0-6, 0-5, I think.
I think. But
he's 0-5, but he hasn't been horrible. These runs weren't even on him.
Listen, this is a terrible, terrible, terrible Derek Shelton mistake right here. He pulls Quinn Priester because Daniel Vogelfat was 2 for 2 against him, and he was playing great, and he was hitting the ball well. So, okay, sure, pull Quinn Priester out in that moment, but it's a little early. He only has 80-some pitches, but put in the lefty. Who do you put in? Hunter Stratton, who just pitched 2 days ago of 2 innings.
Yep.
And then after the game, you get asked, why the hell didn't you put Jose Hernandez in? Because he hasn't pitched in 9 days.
Well, then get him on the mound.
Why hasn't he pitched in 9 days is the question.
It's crazy.
A
lefty bullpen arm is invaluable in baseball.
And, we'll get into your Tellez rant right here, and I'll call him Tellez because he was the entire offense that game. And sorry to say, folks, that just bought him the rest of the year.
Yeah, I mean, the rant sounds a lot better in my head, really. I mean, good on Tellez. I'll just say Tellez for providing all this offense, but it does not make up for 50-plus games of just absolute atrocious baseball. And I guarantee that thieving idiot Shelton is going to use this performance to defend this guy the rest of the year. Like, hey, if he continues to hit like that, great. The problem is He's a lot like coming back to your point where you're bringing out Priester against Vogelbach. Okay, yeah, Vogelbach, he's 2 for 2. are you really that concerned about that guy when he's on the base path? No. That's like Tellez. Where, okay, great. He's going to drive in some runs, hopefully. And that's why they got him. Dude hit 30 home runs a couple years ago. You're hoping he can find some power. He was connecting with the ball. But
he was hitting
he's not getting the extra bases to save his life. And he's not going to go up there and he's not scoring from second on a ball hit to the deep right field corner. He's just not doing it. So the problem goes deeper than just Tellez's bat. He has no speed. And I think they just keep showing him on TV. He looks disinterested. He just looks miserable. It's crazy.
Miserable, dude.
He looks miserable, and it's like.
But I mean, what? How can you be happy whenever you've sucked that bad? Like he truly has sucked.
I don't understand how he could win a lot of these people back if he gets in front of the media and he goes,
"I've sucked.
I have been horrible. I've been doing everything to try and figure this out. I like playing here. I like being here. I feel terrible for my performance. I really need to earn my money here, and I'd like to keep playing up here for a long time." You haven't heard anything from this bum, and he just keeps getting put on out there.
If he gets out in front of it, he could win back a lot of people
easily. We've seen it before in baseball.
But the most important thing is that bat needs to stay alive.
It needs to stay alive, and you know what? Like a guy that's been in the majors that long, he should be able to figure this out. But
in a game like that, that's all it takes. That's all it takes for a guy that's been in the league like 5 to 8 years is one game like that where they're roping the ball, where they go on a little run. So hopefully, Tellez, because we need it. Because at this point, that's all who we're going to see the rest of the year.
Yep. I hope he figures it out. We're not going to be mega hard on him tonight, but just know, Rowdy, you're at the end of the plank, pal, and I'm prepared to push you off.
End of the plank. But you alluded to it earlier. We got 3 at home versus the Dodgers. The big allure is Shohei Ohtani coming to town. He's gonna regret not coming to PNC this offseason, last offseason, because we're gonna shut them down. Jared Jones, Walker Buehler, Paul Skeens. Not sure who he's going against. Or Jared Jones and Tyler Glasnow, Paul Skeens, and I'm not sure, and Bailey Falter and Walker Buehler. Hell of a matchup. 3 games against a great, obviously every year they're great, bought Dodgers team. And then we have 3 games at home against the Twins, who are pretty damn good as well in the AL. And we have Keller, and I'm saying TBD because I doubt we shove Quinn Priester out there again. But who knows? Maybe. And then
I don't know.
The tail end of that Twin series, and those are our next 6 games coming up, all at home, baby.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a good test for the Bucs. Obviously, 6 quality games against a quality opponent.
Well against the Dodgers.
They do play well against the Dodgers, and I think the pitching matchups are there to win this series. The problem is the Bucs should have won a lot of series this year, and they just go to the bullpen, and it's crazy. I mean, Jared Jones versus Glasnow is going to be a tough game. Tyler Glasnow, probably the best pitcher in the league right now. Buccos traded him for, do I dare say it?
No.
Do I dare say who? No. Do I dare say it?
Please.
All right, we'll just leave it alone. We'll just leave it alone.
Do this.
Yeah, we'll just leave it alone.
That's all.
I think he's pitching in the Mexican League right now, maybe. But like I said, Skeens, you can basically count automatic victory. He's going to destroy this lineup. I could see Ohtani going over 3 strikeouts. It's bad. The level.
I give him a little grounder back to Fatso because I'm sorry, Rowdy.
Easy.
He's going to get a start in that Dodger series. I'm fine with because he was the entire offense.
I guarantee he's starting tomorrow. I can guarantee it.
Yeah.
Another guy I think we got to discuss, Ji-Hwan Bae. Had a little bit of a mistake against the Blue Jays, but you know what? I'm all right with that. He's been pretty damn good. His speed changes the game.
Ji-Hwan Bae needs to just be a little bit better. But I just think he needs more ABs. I think like sitting him against lefties is. I just think just like let him play.
Yep, I think you got to let him play.
He's
You got to get him
fast enough
reps.
that he can just get on base.
The dude is, I mean, other than his losing the ball on the roof, which a lot of people do in Toronto.
Yeah, it's a Toronto's,
Other than that, the dude is a racer in center field.
yeah, he's all over the place. And
he makes fast people look not fast.
Michael A. Taylor agreed. Michael A. Taylor is Michael A. bad.
Yeah, Michael A. Taylor is a born a loser. Bought himself, got lucky, winning a World Series. But other than that, that's his only pedigree. Like I think Michael A. Taylor in center field is a pretty good fielder, but you're in the MLB, everyone's a pretty good fielder.
One guy I do want to bring up is Matt Gorski. Matt Gorski probably has been batting 300 for the entire year for the Indianapolis Indians. He plays outfield. Why not bring him back up? Or at the very least, Jack Sawinski. Jack Sawinski immediately went down to AAA and started raking. I'd rather see him out there because Jack Sawinski, if he, like I said, he has pop, he has power, he can have home runs. And one thing we will mention is Henry Hank Davis getting the call back up, which thank God, because Grant Cook sucks Grant Cock. He was terrible. I think he was 0 for 7 for 7 strikeouts in his MLB.
Had a lot of dropped balls behind the dish too.
He was terrible.
How old is that guy? He looks old.
He looked old, but he was probably like young. I don't know. But then
yeah, I don't.
Isn't that good? And Grandal can't play every day at 35.
I think Grandal's been just fine.
Yeah, but he can't play every day at 35.
No, bring your 101 pickup. Bring Henry Davis back up here. Let's see what he's got.
Henry Davis has been eaten in AAA. It's time. Come on, buddy. Get that shit out of your head and play good ball. Come on.
This is I know this is a Bucko podcast, but it's similar to me for Russell Wilson. I like a guy that's on his last chance saloon. He's sitting at last chance saloon. What's he got to do with it? So I think you bring him up. His bat I saw the highlights of him, change his whole batting stance. He doesn't have to rip the laces out of the ball. He just needs to get on base a little more. He needs to bat at least 200. I think he's nice behind the dish, but I don't know. I think you bring him up, Yasmani Grandal, good role model for him. Played a lot of baseball in the major leagues.
I agree. And I think the offense has been great, especially since Nick Gonzalez has came up. But it's just been sometimes just goes in a stalemate after like the 5th or 6th inning. And when you have the bullpen that we do, you cannot be fine with a 4-1 lead.
Yeah. No, it's tough. I don't know. I think these next couple days are going to be a real good test for the Buccos. And like I said, we haven't really been – we've just been sitting at 5 games under 500. Like we haven't – a sweep in any one of those series would have been detrimental. Just keeping our head above water, and we're just hoping these bats get hot. Maybe they make an acquisition. Maybe they don't. But you're sitting there and you look at these – even if you swept – eventually the Pirates are going to sweep somebody. Eventually it's going to happen. You got the Dodgers, you got the Twins. Chances of you getting a sweep against those two teams, slim to none. Then you go to St. Louis, which St. Louis stinks. So you got to get there. They're already talking about selling everybody in St. Louis. Maybe the Bucs get in on that fire sale, but I'm still all in on this season. I think anything can happen. I would love to see maybe a trade happen here for – I don't need any superstar. I just need someone that's a little bit more above average than what we got. They could use a lot of help in a lot of different areas, but if I'm the Bucs, I'm really looking to outfield and I'm looking to bullpen.
I'll end with this, Guy, and I agree with you, and I hope we do. But the thing's going to come down to this: we got 24 games left in June, including these 6 that we are alluding to. We're 5 games under 500 right now. We need to at least go 15-9 in this stretch to be over 500 by July 1st.
Yeah, got to be in it by second
Gotta
week
be,
of July.
gotta be over 500 by July 1st, and then we can be buyers at the deadline.
The pressure
We
will be
could
on the
buying
GM.
from Chicago. We could be buying from maybe St. Louis, but I hate interdivision because they always end up sucking for
Boston
us.
selling.
So, yeah, like look for the fire sales and trade the prospects. And right now we're 5 games under 500. We're up and down. We can't seem to win a series. Can't ever sweep a series. We're 2 games back of a wild card spot. Let's go Bucs, baby. I'm all like, well, whatever happens at the end of the day, I will always root for my home team.
If this is the worst it gets for the Bucs, we're gonna have a great season.
That's absolutely right. Take it easy, folks. Let's go Bucs. 3 against the Dodgers. Fuck the Dodgers.